Welcome to our programming channel. Today in edu.net we are going to see connected architecture with example. First we will create a table. Now table company is created and columns are ID, company, owner name. Now we will insert records in the table. So these will be records in the table. So table is created with records. Now we will see example of connected architecture. While creating example of connected architecture, we will follow these steps. Create a connection object and initialize with connection string. New project. Console application. Connected example. OK. First we will take namespace. Using system.data.sql client. We will take connection string SQL con data source. Right click and connect. This is the server name. Copy server name, Control C, Control V, or paste. Semicolon. Initial catalog is equal to database name is connected DB. Again semicolon. Integrated security is equal to true or SSPI. Here we can give dot also. Now we will create connection object, that is object of SQL connection class. SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection, and initialize this object with this connection string. So here SQL con using create the command object and initialize with SQL query and connection object. Now we are going to create object of SQL command class. SQL command cmd obj is equal to new SQL command. Now initialize this object with SQL query and connection object. We have connection object, but we require SQL query. String query is equal to select star from company. And now this query, comma, connection object con open the connection con dot open method. Execute query with the help of any one method of command object. Command object, that is object of SQL command class cmdobj dot. We can see many methods: execute non-query, execute reader, execute scalar, but we are taking execute reader method. So select execute reader. Store the result in data reader object when we use select query. We have created object of SQL connection class and object of SQL command class. Now we are going to create object of SQL data reader class. SQL data reader dr is equal to new SQL data reader, but we get error. SQL data reader does not contain a constructor that takes 0 arguments. So we cannot create object of SQL data reader class. This query is select query, so we have to store the result in data reader object. So SQL data reader dr is equal to cmdobj.execute reader. Suppose if we remove this con.open and if we try to run the program, we get system.invalid operation exception and execute reader requires an open and available connection. The connection's current state is closed. Here we try to execute this select query, which is related to company table in SQL Server database. And here connection is not opened, so we get error. So in connected architecture, connection must be open when we do any operation related to database. And when connection is open, we cannot see any error. if dr dot has rows while dr dot read method console dot write line in curly braces 0 1 2 dr dot get 0 id is integer dr dot get string 1 dr dot get string 2 close the connection console dot read line here we are closing the connection so con dot close method run the program. Now we can see all the three records from table. This is not looking proper so /t now here we can see dr dot has rows is equal to true. Dr dot read method and then first record is printed on console then again second record is printed again data reader read third record and third record is printed. Now there is no any record so control came out from the loop console.readline and connection close. If we close the connection before data reader read the records then system.invalid operation exception we get the exception invalid attempt to call has rows when reader is closed. So here for data reader also connection must be open while performing operations. So data reader also can work properly when connection is open or we get the exception. And if we delete all the records, there is no any record in table company. Table is empty. Here we can see dr.hasRows false. Connection close. dr.hasRows false. In else block, no records found. We get the output no records found and connection is closed. For understanding concept of connected architecture, we have seen the example in console application. We can see the same example in ASP.NET web application. New project, ASP.NET web application, name connected in ASP.NET. OK. Select empty. OK. Right click on project, add new item, waveform, waveform1.aspx, add grid view control. Now we will display all the records in this grid view. View code, we will use same code which we have used in connected architectures console application program. We require namespace using system.data.sql client, and here this is same connection string. Then using block, select query, command object, connection must be open, data reader object, data source is equal to, here we can use dot also, or integrated security is equal to, here we can use true also. This is grid view 1. Grid view 1 dot data source is equal to dr, and grid view 1 dot data bind. Previously we deleted all the records, so here we cannot see any record, so records must be present in the table. Now all the three records are present in the table, and here close the connection. And now view in web browser or view in Google Chrome. We'll get all the three records from table company. If we comment this line pond.open, connection is not open now. We get system.invalid operation exception. Execute reader requires an open and available connection. The connection's current state is closed. So here also connection must be open. In this way, we have seen connected architecture with example with using data reader. That's all for connected architecture in edu.net. In our channel, there are regular uploads of programming related videos. So for latest updates, please subscribe the channel and like and share videos. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.